Hello, this is Ariella Carmel. I'm at Calcalist and Sufersal's Food Security and Waste Reduction Conference in Tel Aviv. I'm joined by CEO and co-founder of The Natural Step Israel, Michal Bitterman. Thank you for joining us, Michal.
Thank you for interviewing me.
So can we start by talking a bit about The Natural Step and what you guys do?
The Natural Step was founded at 2012, and our main mission is to promote sustainability. Within sustainability, we have different channels, and one of the things that we discovered during 2012 that the food industry is totally not connected to sustainability. So our vision and mission is to connect the dots. So we said, what are the main challenges of the food system and how can we promote sustainability of the food system? And we found that food insecurity, instability, and within that, food waste is one of our main premises. And since 2012, we're investing a lot in understanding food waste and bringing actual solutions to really reduce the waste, because we believe that food waste is a critical point of intervention so we can really leverage the whole independence of our food system.
Amazing. Can you expand a bit upon your activities regarding reducing food waste here in Israel and what you think needs to be done to combat that?
Yeah, so we started at 2012 to understand the problem. And we went to houses and we checked what people think, how do they feel about the problem, about the solutions. And we understood a lot about the actual Israeli consumer and how he thinks and how he acts. Then we did what's called the Sustainability Transition Lab, that we brought into one room all the different stakeholders, from the growing of the food to the manufacturers, the different organizations, 6 academias, policy from the national and local level, organizations and the media inside one room, and we discussed the problem. We discussed everything about the conflict of interest, about the failures of the market, about what people find as interesting and whatnot. And since 2018, we are invested in 7 different channels. And the premise is to take things that are failures of the market that we want to solve, to raise the awareness of people of how they can actually do things differently. Not only that there is a problem, but how they can act differently and what are the alternatives that they can choose as their consumption choice, and different other points of intervention which we believe that are crucial. And if we start with them, they can create more change and empower more people to be part of this role.
Amazing. Now, I believe that you guys recently launched a Food Waste Reduction Week here in Israel. Can you speak about that?
Not that recently, but yes. It started with a day that it's the 12th of March, which is identical to 12.3, which is the target of the UN to reduce food waste. And it's also the spring and, everything that is involved in that date. And we decided already 3 years ago to expand it to a week. Basically, the idea of the Food Waste Reduction Week is to put all the intentions in one week to really raise the awareness. And my goal is to get to every household and say, hey, there is a problem, you waste too much food, and here are the kinds of solutions you can explore. And of course, we work with a lot of partnerships, so they will talk about it, they will discuss the solution, they will communicate with their different stakeholders, and as much as possible to expand to everyone with this knowledge.
It's so important. Now, do you think that there's been enough done from a policy level to combat food waste reduction and sustainability initiatives in general in Israel? And if not, what do you think needs to be done?
Okay, so it's the short answer, totally not. So if I'm in the sustainability journey for more than the time that the Natural Step is existing, I started with the Israel Green Building Council, which I founded. So I had a lot of years in working on green building and the green built environment, and worked a lot with with different cities and municipalities around climate change. And I could say definitely not. This is one of those issues that I feel that are so acute and important, because it's not like any other consumption thing. It's our food. We must have it. We need it. Everyone needs it. We want it fresh. We want it local. We want it, healthy. And I feel that it's not in any accordance to how the government treats it. The government doesn't do anything about it. I mean, really, really small and minor things that are about rescuing food. We're talking about prevention. How can we prevent it? Not about rescuing. Rescuing is very important, but the amount that we can rescue is so small compared to what we can prevent. And prevention gives a lot more ROI and so on. So if I come back to your question, definitely not. And all 5 ministries on the national level should be part of it, from intervening in how the manufacturers work and how the supermarket works, and having a national target. We don't have a national target. We don't monitor how much waste and so on. So we have a lot of national policies, but also the policies on on the urban environment. We also need policies on the local level that will make this change. So it's national and local level should step in and totally bring solutions.
Now, my last question is, you've been extremely active in terms of bringing attention to efforts to overhaul the judiciary here in Israel. How do you think what's going on at a political level, and if the government is successful in passing legislation regarding the judiciary, how is all of this going to impact environmental policy and what's being done to combat sustainability initiatives in Israel?
I can say, unfortunately, that the government is really lagging behind, and we are totally not in the pace or urgency and amount of efforts as other countries in the in the developed world. And I'm sorry to say it, because I think that there's so many people in the government that understand the urgency, that understand the policy, and we don't need to invent anything. We can look at other places. They not only do they have the measures, they can also show the results. They can also show the lessons learned. So we don't need to invent anything. We need to come and make it relevant to Israel, but that's all. And I must say that in terms of sustainability, we're not there yet. We don't understand, the government, not us. The government doesn't understand that it's crucial, and it's part of a whole strategic view of independence, of resiliency, and how we maintain our society for long term in a way that people can live in a way that it's not so expensive, that is sustainable, and so on. So as long as the government sees it as a niche or something that is a tree hugger thing, we're still really, really behind, and it's unfortunate.
Absolutely. Well, on that note, we don't have any more time, but I want to thank you so much for taking the time to speak to us. It's so important, the work that you guys are doing.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for giving it, the place and the time to talk about it. It's important.
My pleasure. And thank you so much to everybody who's joining us from home.